I'm going to have a look at what's in the Arduino Measurement Kit for MECH 216. If you bought this package, it has all the things that you'll need to be able to do a lot of the work that we're doing in the course at home. If you didn't buy one of these packages, all of the stuff that's available in this package will also be available to you for sign out in the lab. So let's look inside the box and see what's there. Right on top, I find this little bag with a little tiny sensor in it. Now this is a TMP36 temperature sensor. I'll set that aside for the moment. Further inside the box under the paper, some LEDs, a USB cable, an Arduino Uno, a breadboard for making connections and connecting bits and pieces together, some wires for making those connections on the breadboard, and a collection of little components that I'll pull out and look at individually in just a moment. And that's all that's in the box. At the heart of what we'll be doing in the course is the Arduino Uno. This is the standard for microcontrollers in the hobbyist industry and also in a lot of prototyping applications for engineering work. So this is the microcontroller board itself, and inside you get some stickers and a little bit of documentation. We'll set that aside along with the box. Now on the Arduino Uno, we've got the microcontroller processing chip, we've got a connection for a USB port, and we've got a connection for power, as well as all of these connections for individual little ports on the Arduino. So digital input and output and analog input to allow us to measure things. If we want to connect anything, we probably need a breadboard like this. This allows us to plug in different components into each of these little individual holes and connect them up with wires like this one, which can go into the holes to make the connection. Now on a breadboard like this, all the holes in a line, all of the ones across there, those are all connected to each other. So this one, row 1, all connected to each other, but not connected across the gap here. So these ones in row 1 are all connected to each other. That allows you to plug things into the breadboard and then plug wires in beside them. So for example, the green wire right now is plugged into row 9. If I plug the red wire into row 9 as well, they're both connected to each other. So let's set that aside for a moment. Let's see what else we've got. We've got a USB cable. It has two ends. This end is the end that goes into the Arduino. That's where the plug fits, right in there. We've got a big bundle of connector wires like these little individual wires so that you can make quite a few connections. Some of them are longer, most of them are shorter, just enough to get you from here over to here. So we've got a bundle of wires. The first thing I pulled out of the package was this TMP36 temperature sensor. Probably best to keep it in the bag so you don't lose it. But I'll just get it out so you can have a closer look. It's got 3 conductors coming out of this little black box, and the little black box has a semicircular side and a flat side to help you figure out the alignment. And we'll be using that in one of our labs later on to measure temperature. In addition, we have in the bag 5 little red LEDs that we can use as indicator lights. I'll set those there on top of the wires. And finally, things get a little more interesting. We've got this bag of components. So let's just see what all we've got in here. Well, first thing that fell out is a push button. This is a little button. It's got 4 connections on here. And when I push the button, I can feel a little tactile click, and it momentarily connects the conductors together. Now you'll have to test to figure out which ones are connected all the time and which ones are only connected when you push the button. I have to test it every time with my multimeter. I can never remember. So we've got a push button there. This is a potentiometer, and it's got 3 wires, 3 connections on it, and that potentiometer can plug into the breadboard like that, and as you adjust this knob so that the arrow points in different directions, that provides you with a variable resistance. So if we want to have a variable resistance in our electric circuit, we can use that potentiometer. And we've got 2 of them in the kit. These are little feet that you can put on the bottom of your Arduino if you want. This component here, with 2 wires coming out of it and a little zigzag on top, is a photocell, and it provides a resistance that's sensitive to how much light is shining on this surface here. And we've got another one of those. We've also got 3 other diodes with clear covers. And if we look at the diodes, we'll see the LEDs, light emitting diodes. We'll see that they've got 2 wires coming out of them. One wire is longer and the other wire is shorter. The light emitting diode should only be connected with the current flowing in one direction, and the longer wire should always be connected to the positive. So I better lay them out here all in a straight line, all with the long leads on the same side. Another push button, and 3 sets of resistors. So resistor color codes are important. Let's see, this has got a gold band on that end, so let's put the gold this way so that it makes sense, because we want to read it first with the colored bands and then the gold on the right hand side. So there's another one with the gold on the right hand side. Here's another one, again with the gold on the right hand side. So if I look at the bands on the resistor, there's a brown one, a black one, and a red one. Brown, black, red. If we look up the resistor color code, each of those colors stands for a different number. Brown stands for the number 1. Black, the number 0, the digit 0. And in the 3rd position, the red one means 2, and that means 2 more zeros. So 1, 0, 0, 0, that's a 1 kilo ohm, 1,000 ohm resistor. This one is brown, black, and orange. Brown and black are still 1 and 0, but if we check the color code chart, orange is 3. 3 in this 3rd position means 3 zeros. 1 0 and 3 more zeros, that's 10,000 or 10 kilo ohms, 10,000 ohms. These ones, brown, black, and brown, well, we know that brown means 1, black means 0, and brown again means 1 in the 3rd position. That brown will mean just 1 0, so this is 100 ohms resistance. So those are all the components that came in the kit, and we'll be looking in other videos about how to put them together and get them to do useful things.